Welcome to Washington East to West Sports. This is episode 128. I am Matt Beatty, joined alongside, as usual, by Sean Beatty and Kevin Ardall. And we've got our recurring guest, JT the Ginger, on. You know what that means. It's a preview episode. Or we should just have him on for fun one of these days. But if you want to get involved in the show, go ahead and blue sky at us. I am at MasterB24. Sean is at Nasty Billy 22. Kevin is at Emerald Bowler. JT is still on X and he is JT underscore the ginger. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube and tell us what you think of the topics we talk about in the comments below. Guys, it's almost baseball season. Starts on Thursday. I can see the excitement in all of your faces right now, but let's talk some Seattle Mariners. And I was going to start with spring training observances, but we have news to cover, so we'll get to that at some other point here. But let's start with the perfect timing for news is right before we have our show. So thank you to the Big Dumper for what you do on the field as well as off the field, frankly, because I mean, you're just setting the pants like lineup for the next 6 years for the Mariners now because Mariners and Cal Raleigh reached a 6 year, $105 million extension that happened today, reported by ESPN's Jeff Passan. Sean, how excited are you about this news? And did you go out and buy a Big Dumper jersey immediately, or are you going to wait a little bit?
No, what they should do is, you know how sometimes I thought about this just on the fly now. So copywriting it, Mariners, you need to send me royalties if you do this. So you know how sometimes you have those seat protectors? You should have a pants implant so you could all be a dumper, and if it's a dumper night, and you just slide them into like your jeans or something like that, it just makes your butt look really big, and it's a seat cushion,
Or it's the shape of a dump truck, but it's got two little curves cut out. So you can
and you could
sit on it,
sit
but then
on
you
it.
can put it in the air and like wave it when he hits a home run or
There you
whatever.
go. See, you need to get on this Mariners now. You signed him. You no reason not for something involving a dumper and a giveaway. So I want that more than the jersey, but I'll get a jersey to go with my Julio since they're both gonna be in the lineup for a long time. I mean obviously it's a super awesome signing. It's for I think 17 and a half per year for the 6 years. I think is what I can't remember what the math is, but awesome deal too. It's for his good years. I think we talked about in this podcast. I didn't want to sign him much beyond 3 years of his original deal because what's he gonna be like 33, 34 when this deal ends? And I'm
34 is
like,
28 right now.
yeah, so like it's perfect up until age 34. I mean, if he's great until then you could extend him again. But if he's not, then it's like a perfect age for a catcher, age 34, see what he gets. But you're paying him for his last 3 years ARB and then 3 years of non-ARB, and it's a win-win for him. Cal gets his money, the Mariners get a couple 3 years of cheap deal on the back end. So uh, love it. And I think that what goes unnoticed is like he might be one of the best catchers in baseball. Defensively, he already is, but like the pitchers all love him. And whatever you got to do to keep those five boys happy, you're gonna do it. You sign him, keep him happy, keep him thrown to Cal. You got him there for 6 more years. Maybe it entices a couple of those guys to sign some deals as well. So I don't see how this is bad. Cal, awesome contract, awesome. Do again. Now get Kirby and Logan to sign us some dotted lines as well.
JT, what do you think? And I mean, obviously, I love the dump truck promotion, but maybe we could get like a big dumper diaper night for like bring your kids to the park or something. I don't know. There's something here.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm digging it. Um, Platinum glove, right? Got the gold glove plus
Yep.
the, so I mean, it's just well done, rewarded him, and it's really just buying out the three ARB years and then adding another, 24.6 each year on after that. So, I think it works out pretty well. Cal, yeah, seems like a good guy, good teammate. You know, it's weird seeing he's 28, he's got 3 years of service time. I feel like he's been with
Yeah.
us longer, but
Yeah.
um,
Those catchers just take
yeah.
forever in the minors to develop, so they get up super late.
Yeah, I see his last year's technically a vesting year, but I can't find out. I haven't found out what that is. I don't see it on the
I think
pass
it's
in info,
I think
but
isn't it both have to agree? I think.
yeah, either that or it's like Luis's where if he throws 180
Yeah.
innings
Yeah.
before, so I'm like there's something that happens before that
Yeah,
year and then just locks in, so he
there's some
gets
trigger.
500
Yeah.
plate appearances. Yeah, don't know what that, but yeah, I'm down. I'm excited for him.
Kevin, what do you think?
I'm so upset. No, I'm kidding. No, it's yeah, no, it's super good. I'm glad they locked him down. He's a technical key piece to both ends, defensively, as Sean had mentioned, in the pitching scheme and what he can do, how he frames pitches. Um, he's one of the best at it. And then also what he bring, his bat has just been getting better and better, and also the switch hitting aspect too. So he's just everything that you want, and he's probably the best catcher in baseball. Saying a lot of would probably agree with that. Um,
If not, it's one, two, or three, and depending on the year, it flips between one of the three guys,
yeah,
basically. So yeah,
yeah. So, um, nothing but good. So I'm glad that, especially since we're not gonna. The only it is a sad day for Harry Ford because it's kind of the writing on the wall a little bit for Harry that he might. But at this time too, like it's now like use Harry Ford to go get a piece if Cal is your future, then
I mean, like at the end of the day, though, Kevin, like you could just have them both up. You have your backup catcher, and the other one just DHs.
DH, yeah,
Worst case
that's
scenario, you have a DH. So
that is
you don't
possible
have to trade
too.
him. You don't have to trade him, but it is a nice piece to trade. A young hitting catcher is a
Yeah.
nice thing to have. But yeah, if they just want to roll them both, because this is Garver's last year. So if you just want to call up Harry Ford and you have your catcher, your
Sure.
backup, and the other one DHs, I mean, I can see a lot of worse things than that.
Yeah.
We're gonna see the plan this next off season. Harry Ford's Rule 5 status is December
Yep.
of this year, so we're gonna see what they're gonna do about it by the end of this calendar year.
Yep. They got to make a choice.
Mhm.
Yeah, very happy with this. Has he already gotten a bobblehead night? If he hasn't, he should now. I mean, that's pretty much
He
okay.
has
I would,
to.
I would, I would think so, right? But you
But
never know.
he needs a bottle or bobble butt night.
Yes,
Where it
yes.
bounces,
Yeah.
Hasn't
my
he had
gosh.
like I swear like I've maybe seen something.
jumper
Yeah.
Mariners, can you
butt,
just give us credit if you do
jumper
this at the very
butt.
least? Like, come on, we're giving you
If
all
they
these great
bust
ideas
out
here.
a butt bobblehead and like a seat cushion or something like that, I'm gonna be really upset next
Or
year.
like
They
a
need
little figurine that's got like a bubble butt, but it like twerks
yeah,
Oh,
instead of the head. It's not a head
yeah.
bobblehead, it's a bobble
Mhm.
butt. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Got
it's
twerk.
We
just
got what you were doing.
there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
so much opportunity here, Mariners. Do not fail on this, okay? You guys love money. Come on now. Anyway, yeah, I love this move, and at least even if the Mariners are not great in some of these years, then at least there's a guy that you really want to go see play. So, happy to see this happen. And then let's move on to some sadder news, which I'm not sure if this has been confirmed yet. I wrote this the other day, but George Kirby is likely to end up on the IL. I'm not sure if that's already happened yet, but yeah, they reported that he has shoulder inflammation and will likely open the season on the injured list. And then I'll call this sad news. I'm not sure how sad you guys are going to be about it, but I'm going to include this as part of this part as well. Mitch Haniger is no longer Seattle Mariner. That's right. The Mariners did release Mitch Haniger last or what 2 days ago actually. So it was his second stint with the Mariners. He's 34. Um, you know, Mitch to me is you know there was that hit against what was that the Angels and a few seasons ago when thought we were in the race. So he'll always have that. To me, he will always be the ruptured testicle man, unfortunately, just because that's just a sad history for him, and that's kind of how I remember him. But there was that hit that he had that was really clutch, so that will be a good memory for Mariners fans as Mitch moves on. Kirby, that absolutely sucks. Hopefully, it's not long term, but we'll see how things go. And luckily, the Mariners do have some pitching depth, and they've got maybe some guys who might get a shot for a little bit while Kirby is on the mend. I'm gonna loop back around, Kevin. What do you think of Kirby and Haniger?
Yeah, I mean, Kirby is essentially one of your, I mean, all of our rotation is filthy, but I mean, Kirby's got some filthy stuff to where like, I mean, I think we'll still be okay because I imagine is there playing Hancock at the moment? I'm guessing, or is
Yeah.
it Logan
I
Evans?
think so. Yeah.
It's
I'm
Hancock.
guessing it'd be Hancock. Um, so Hancock slides in to be your fifth, and everybody just moves up. I think it's fine. I think the rotation's still good. The bullpen's looking good. Um, So I rather them heal him than like force him to play like type stuff. Like let him sit until he's good, let him come back and dominate like he does. Haniger, yeah, it's sad. The other thing I always remember of him is his 40 bomb season, or was it 39? I think. No, I thought he hit 40. It was either 39 or 40.
Yeah.
That 2021 was it or 2020? He hit 40. But that was a fun year to watch for Haniger. Um, just the injury bug played him, and then just kind of slid downhill after that. And, but all around good dude. Uh, good to have in the ball club. Uh, but unfortunately, over the past couple seasons, he's really brought nothing to the table. So yeah, unfortunately, it's bittersweet, uh, type of deal. So, wish him the best of luck. I highly doubt he'd get picked up by another team, but who knows? But I mean, there's just so much better options that this team can go to where just having him on the roster is kind of a liability, in my opinion. But yeah. But best of luck to him. Hopefully, would love to have him in the Seattle area. Hopefully, he could like do stuff around because I think Mariners fans love him, because he is such a good dude. I mean, he sacrificed a testicle and a right cheekbone for us, shattered his jaw uh, for us. So give that man a beer or something around Seattle. So
I mean, with that one hit, he may never have to buy drinks in Seattle again. Who knows?
that's,
But
I mean, that
yeah,
hit was pretty dope. I mean, it's not the big dumper bomb, but it was still good.
that's true. Cal doesn't have to buy drinks, and he can buy drinks for everybody now. So,
Yeah.
JT, what do you think of the Haniger and Kirby news?
Haniger, I really like what Dipoto said about it. He said he's one of the most focused, prepared, hardest working players I've ever been around. Like big hat tip. He said he's been a significant part of Mariners history. He'll be missed. Yeah, echo the sentiments and wish him well. And like Kevin said, hopefully he hangs around and like he's most identifiable with the Mariners organization. And so, depending on if he wants to try to keep playing or whatever, but hope to see him in some capacity. I always thought highly of him. He seemed like a stand-up guy and yeah, he had some memorable moments, pretty cool, and all-star in 2018. So yeah, and then with Kirby, it's unfortunate. One of those things, I guess, always could be worse. So we're gonna miss him for what, probably month of April or so, and we'll see if he can get back by the end of April or early May is what it sounds like. Just pulled up the most, his optimistic timeline. So the cool thing is though, when he starts rehabbing, it's probably either going to be High Everett, which they come to play the Dust Devils here, or AAA Tacoma, which I'm rocking the hat today. So I mean, either way, probably keep them pretty close. So um, at least one of the four of us have a chance to go maybe see some Kirby in action. Need I say again? It's like, we already saw him when he was a prospect. Now we see him when he's full grown man now. So that'd be cool.
Sean, what do you think?
Well, let's go with Mitch. He's forever doesn't need to buy a beer after he posts the article will end the bleeping drought. So that never got so after they missed by like a game or something like that, and then they did. So he delivered on his promise. So just from that article, never buy a beer again. As for obviously sad to see Mitch go, but yeah, it was time. Um, As for Kirby, yeah, it sounds like it was more precautionary, and I'm glad that they go that route versus, force it. You don't need to force it. Let him rest it. Kirby said he's feeling better, but I mean, it's a pitcher and it's an arm. It could be old. I don't want to jinx it. I won't even say it. What it could have been, some World Baseball Classic guy from back in the day, and it got soggy or something like that. For those that know, no. Could just be like, oh, this, and then turns into whatever it is. So right now, it sounds like it's fine, and they're just being safe with it. And I'm okay with that. Like Kevin said, this rotation still got beasts in it, and again, we've talked about it before on the podcast. How many teams would kill for a number 6 as Emerson Hancock? Like, Everyone dumps on him because he's not one of the five, but he is a very serviceable major league pitcher, and honestly, like a three or a four on a lot of rotations. And he's our six, so he is there for two starts to get us through some innings, four ERA, maybe even less, like it was last year, and I'll take it. Like, don't he won't bury yet. That's fine, and that's what he's there for. And I've actually heard things come out of camp that he's been a little faster and a little bit more lively with his pitches. So it looks like he's improved and done some work in the offseason. So maybe he's a little better than last year because his underlying numbers were better than his real numbers. So I was like, maybe the regression was coming, but if he's improved a little bit, maybe it'll be a little better. So Hancock, while he is not Kirby, is not a death nail for this team by any means. Oh, and also I did look it up. Cal has to appear in 100 games in 4 of 6 seasons for the vesting option.
Oh, okay.
That is what he needs to hit. If he doesn't, he gets $2 million. So I mean, bummer. Uh, yeah, you didn't catch enough. Here's $2 million. But Kirby, I don't think it's long term, and I'm sorry, Enchanter is gone, but it needed to happen because we need to get bats for big boy Raditz there.
All right, well, let's talk some lighter news. The Mariners and Padres are playing for the Vedder Cup this year. That's right. Eddie Vedder, the lead singer of Pearl Jam, has dubbed the Mariners Padres series this year the Vedder Cup. They play May 16th through the 18th in Seattle, and they play August 25th and 27th in San Diego. And then also on the jersey front, the Mariners have added Nintendo patches to their left sleeve. And so I find it very interesting that Nintendo hasn't done this already. I did like the video with Julio. That was pretty fun. A lot of American sports teams are getting logos all over their jerseys now, so this is not entirely surprising news. And I think Nintendo is they're pumping up the Switch 2, which we'll know more about on April 2nd. But I think this is a no-brainer for Nintendo, and I don't know why they didn't do it sooner. So maybe we'll get like a Mario night or something out of this for the Mariners or some sort of promo. And then the Vedder Cup.
Well, they didn't do it before, Matthew, because you couldn't do it before. Sponsorships were not allowed on jerseys until recently.
When did the MLB really in that?
NHL did it first, and NHL did it like 3 years ago, and so I think MLB followed suit. Yeah, like 2 years ago, maybe 1 year ago.
Like two.
Didn't
okay.
the Dodgers, or it's like a national league team? They had some on their helmets like a couple years ago. It was like the first team to do it. I can't remember what it was. It was like a blue helmet. It's I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it was like 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah, you couldn't
Okay.
put any logos on your jersey until a couple years ago.
Well, now I think every American sports league does it
They're
now,
gonna do
so
it.
I'm not entirely
Yeah.
shocked. And then the Vedder Cup, I know there's a trophy. I want to see this trophy, so I'd like to win the Vedder Cup. The Padres, from what I hear, should be pretty solid this year. So I'd like to win the Eddie Vedder Cup. But come on, Eddie Vedder, you love Seattle more than San Diego. Let's be real here. All right, we're the OGs. So if they split the series, what do? Do you just cut the trophy in half, Eddie? Like, what are we gonna do here? You're just gonna play concert in both areas? Like, let's just let bygones be bygones. And if they got a 4 game and a 3 game series, this would make more sense. But oh well. Sean, do you want the Mariners to win the Eddie Vedder Cup more than the World Series?
Um, More. Oh man, it's close. It's
I
1A,
know,
1B.
I
It's a
know.
toss up. It's a toss up. Going World Series,
All
but
right, fair
maybe
enough, fair
maybe
enough.
Vedder. Can you promise me like 4 Vedder Cups for one World Series? What's the ratio? What's the conversion ratio here?
It's
Is it
it's
the
like
same as Stanley Nichols to
yeah,
Schrute Bucks?
absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, exact same conversion rate.
20th anniversary was yesterday, so shout out the office. There you go.
God, we're old.
Yeah.
JT, any commentary on both of these pieces of news?
Um, I want little Nintendo like OG controller belt buckles with
Ooh,
like the
Ooh.
black on the white with the red. That'd be fun, like a little belt buckle for that.
yeah.
Or yeah, any Mariners giveaway would be cool. With Nintendo theme. Um, yeah, as far as Vedder Cup, World Series. I don't know. When I found out, I was pretty excited. I had to just breathe. And then I was just like, man, Vetter's kind of the man of the hour right now. Everyone's getting hyped of it, but I had to put that in the rearview mirror. And really, we need to focus on the World Series and just stay alive. And so I got to have some indifference regarding it. And I'm running out of Pearl Jam songs. Even Flow, The Fixer, go. Sorry, I threw in about six. I don't know if you noticed there, but yeah, all I think of when I think of Pearl Jam is SNL, Adam Sandler when he was
Yeah,
singing it. But
yeah.
yeah, it's something fun, something cool. Like yeah, go for it.
Kevin, any reaction to these piece of news?
Well, I will say that now that Nintendo is doing this, we need like a night where it's like just Kirby shirts, but it's actually Kirby
Yeah.
like on the mound. Like
I
it
mean,
just
how could it not? Yeah, actually, Kevin. Yeah, how could we
you
not have
need
done that
that.
yet?
Like have a Mariner like a thing like where it's the Mariners like it's like kind of like you're looking at the pitcher like you're on the plate, but it's actual Kirby in like a Mariners uniform getting ready to like throw the pitch.
Mhm.
That would be sick. Um, Something with Kirby along that line. I mean, it just makes sense.
Gosh, I
Uh,
haven't thought about that ever, and that's right. That's like the perfect team.
yeah. So, um, and then the better thing is way more important than the World Series, of course. We just,
Thank you for keeping it real.
I mean, most teams, honestly, I think the Dodgers were saying they're gonna give up their World Series
How
ring
many?
just
Yeah,
so they can
how
participate.
many World Series? How many Vedder Cups do the Dodgers have? Zero. They don't
Yeah.
have any.
Wow.
So
They
boom.
they they talked with Vedder and were like, "Hey, can we just like give up our championship last year to participate this year?" And he's like, "No." And they're like, "Well, fuck."
Yeah.
They were
No.
pretty sad about it. So, I mean, Mariners, you need to sacrifice your bodies and everything for this,
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
course. But yeah, no, I mean, it's cool. It's a cool little side note. Side little thing on the side. Of course, you want to keep your eye on the ball. But I mean, your goal is essentially just to win all those games. Like because it just means you have better chances to make playoffs. So just win it. I don't know why you wouldn't take it any day and be like, oh boys, we got to win this one more than the other series that we're playing. Like, no, your goal is to go 1-0 every game. Like, so just win them. Like, and then you get a trophy on the side. You can celebrate it afterward and be like, all right, cool. Uh, Actually, even if I was freaking Dan Wilson, I'd be like, y'all don't get to see this until after the season. I'd be like, you won those. Now let's go for
Yeah.
the actual thing. And then like after the season, if we don't win it, then I'll let you boys like celebrate and all that jazz. But like, gotta keep him focused. Like unless he feels like it's like a momentum thing or something like that line. But I just don't want him to get distracted on anything. So, but it's still a cool little side note for baseball. Hopefully it gets more viewership. I think that's the main thing. Like maybe a way to get more viewership. So
We got to assume he's going to be at all these games, I would imagine too.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk now about spring training. That's right. The most important preseason of any sport. I don't know if that's true, but let's talk about spring training baseball. Have you guys been watching spring training? Do you have anything you have been observing? Sean, I'm going to go to you first. Anything that you has caught your eye during this spring training?
I don't. I keep it on. I just more for like injuries, kind of things like that. Just want to keep tabs. Like, oh, you find something. It's more not for the game, but like the interviews because you're like someone's working on something. Like I found out that Type Pete is working with Goody a lot in the outfield, so that was nice to hear. And Type Pete's pretty athletic, so he's really improving in the outfield because Goody is sex on wheels, as we know. So I'm like just little nuggets like that. I've been really impressed with all the young kids coming up. I think we talked about it on the previous podcast. They are coming in and they're playing with the adults and they're hitting and they've looked really nice. Harry Ford had a really nice spring training, so it's more of like behind the plate. How much has he got there? Because I think the bat's going to play now. How much home runs and all that stuff is the question, but like we just need to work on the behind the plate stuff. So it's yeah, I like what all the young guys have been doing. That's what really the only thing with the Mariners was because they didn't sign any vets or new guys this offseason. So it was like, how do the young guys look? And then Rowdy Tellez showed up and he's like, I'm going to play really well. And then Mariners like, I guess you get a spot because we just can't. Who else are going to play at DH? Mitch Garver and then who else? Like, so Rowdy Tellez, let's do it. So yeah, all in all, a pretty good spring training. Matt Brash threw for the first time yesterday, said he felt awesome. The only hiccup was Kirby, but other than that, relatively healthy coming in. Young kids look good. So yeah, all in all, good spring training. I don't watch all the games that closely.
I do have some breaking news. I looked up Pearl Jam's upcoming tour schedule, and when they're playing the Mariners and Padres May 16th through the 18th, he will actually be on tour in Pittsburgh on May 16th and 18th. So Eddie, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Get it together. All right. JT, any observations from spring training?
I know standings don't matter, but it is kind of weird to have like the lowest win percentage through spring training. It's kind of a what are we doing? What's going on? But I do like Rosarena. I feel like I'm going to be looking to him as like a barometer throughout the season. I need I need him to be Robin to Julio's Batman. And that's what I'm looking for Rosarena to do. Um, so on top of that, it's good to see Garver hitting well. It's good to see Jorge, JP, Raleigh, I mentioned Tellez, and even Bliss. I mean, he's going to be off the bench, util piece. Those guys are doing well. We needed a bounce back, and since we didn't sign anything big, it's just like, okay, like everybody's going to need to step up. So again, it's spring training, grain of salt, but at least those extra pieces are stepping up. Pitching kind of looked, at least the starters, like it's the relievers, barely get any opportunity. But starters, somewhere 10 to 16 innings depending. So they all look pretty solid, nothing crazy, but yeah, it'd just be nice to win a few in the spring training, for the fans and all that. But oh well, let's win some real games when it matters. How about that?
Definitely. Kevin, any have you watched any spring training baseball? Anything that caught your eye during spring training?
Um, I just mainly kind of like watching the young prospects, and then injuries, like you said, with the only other one that was notable, but it's fine now. Like Victor Robles was having some concerns with his hand, which was kind of sketchy, but he played today. So, or no, sorry, yesterday. They didn't play today. Um, so that's good to see that he's back for that. Um, what was some other noticeable pieces? Axel Sanchez is actually like solid for all the games that he's played for us during spring training. So that was kind of interesting to see because I was kind of looking at positions of like what we're going to see in the future, even though like we do have our main top guys. But I mean, we've talked about Axel before on this podcast as one of the dudes to kind of look out for. So, and then kind of along with the other ones like Carry Forward. So just kind of watching them, seeing how they do with with up league at bats, against more tougher competition. Um, but other than that, I haven't watched the games personally. I just kind of like look at the stats and then like look at highlights and things along that line when I get a chance to. So, but no, all in all, as JC said, we're kind of waiting. Let's see the big boy games, the actual matter games type of stuff. And you get a pretty nice start with the A's this weekend. So I think that's something you should win.
The
So
Sacramento A's, or is that what we're calling them, or are they just the
yeah,
A's?
yes, the Sacramento A's.
I'll call them the Sacramento A's. That's what I'm going to call them. All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with some predictions right after this word from our sponsors. Welcome back to Washington East to West Sports. Thank you so much to our sponsors and our advertisers. We make so much money off this podcast. If you want to be a sponsor and advertiser, please go ahead and email us, WashingtoneastWestSports@gmail.com, or leave a comment in the YouTube and just let us know you want to advertise with us. Follow us on Blue Sky. I am at MasterB24. Sean is at NastyBilly22. Kevin is at Emerald Bowler. And JT on X is JT_the Ginger. Please subscribe to us and let us know what you think, especially about the Mariners as we get into some fantasy baseball. That's right. I have two podcast hosts from the Fantasy Dad Pods in the flesh here. So, guys, I want you to tell me how good was my pick of Logan Gilbert during our fantasy draft on Sunday, and give me some players that you are really excited for the Seattle Mariners this fantasy baseball season. Sean, I'm gonna throw it to you first.
Fantasy. Sorry, I missed. You cut out. My internet cut out there. What was the question?
Give me some fantasy baseball guys you're really excited for on the Seattle Mariners this season.
Oh, okay. Um, fantasy baseball guys. Well, the easy answer is all the pitchers.
All of
And I
them?
can't. Yeah, all five of the starting pitchers. They'll all be drafted. Me and JT talked about this on our fantasy pod. I think they're all going. What was it? What do we see? Top 30 in pitchers? Is that what it was?
Prior to the Kirby news.
Yeah, prior to the Kirby news, all
Yeah.
healthy, all top 30. They're all going top 30. So yeah, they're
Yeah.
all definitely being drafted. We've come a long way, I think, JT from and Kevin from back in the day when we're in Joey's living room and the one team person runs to draft the one Mariner Felix Hernandez. like in round six or so. Like they're like, oh, got the one Mariner, and now we're like, oh, you can draft five starters. I think obviously to stay there. I guess the sneaky one's Randy Rosarina. I'm not much of a fantasy guy on Randy Rosarina. He's not my style. Me and JT would talk about that, but he is even in a down year goes 2020. So I feel like Randy Rosarina is being slept on a little bit coming to Seattle. So I anticipate him fully going 2020 this year in Seattle at least. So
All right. JT, who should we be keeping an eye on, and how good was my Logan Gilbert pick? Like, you can just glaze me up if you want to. That's fine.
All right. You got Logan Gilbert for 33 fake fantasy dollars in
Yeah.
our auction draft. I feel like that's pretty solid
Thank you.
compared to the other pitchers around there. Like a Garrett Crochet is 38, like I think you saved a few bucks. I feel like I think you did well. Cole Reagan's 29. I feel like you're right there.
Thank you.
I mean, you got a Shohei Ohtani for 77, big spender. So I mean, there's
I wanted him, so I was
110.
not letting him get away. That was I was like, I'm getting him because I had him 2 years ago. I made the playoffs and then flopped. So I expect that exact same thing to happen this year. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of going through your lineup. I shouldn't say too much because tomorrow Sean and I are going to pod and I'm going to quiz him like a double blind quiz, and he's
yeah,
just going to pick the best team. He's not going to sure
yeah.
know who the manager is, but going through it, you're at some point you auto draft, I assumed. You just had to go to bed.
I was down to like 30 dollars, and
Hmm.
most everyone else had at least 80. So I was like, I'm not getting anyone until later, so I'm gonna cruise through this. And then by the time I came back to the computer, everybody was already basically auto drafting $1 guys. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think you did fine. Let's look at Kevin's team too. J Rant. See, I was kind of wanting some
Oh,
J Rant.
I gotta switch my team name too. So I pulled on purpose just for funsies. I pulled a Sean from like 4 years ago, and I drafted like almost all the Mariners rotation for I really thought about taking oh what's this my God the older I am brain farting because I am tired. I've been working 10 days in a row.
Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo. I could have probably put up a fight for him. I technically did, but I was like, oh, I'll let him go because there was another pitcher I was thinking of. I was like, if I get at least three of the five, I'm like, I'll be okay, which I did. But
Yeah, I like Kevin's strategy. You got like super lockdown stud and then just like a bunch of like teens, values, like just anywhere from like 10 to 23, just, like B tier, like that's a really solid, deep type of team. And maybe this might be the year that Mike Trout stays healthy, it only costs you 14 fake dollars. So
yeah,
Whoever gets a year that whenever Mike Trout stays healthy, we talk about it, they're gonna win the league. It's just you gotta play the game in order to do that. And if you do it, yeah, someone's gonna get a Mike Trout for $14, and you don't screw up your other dollars, you're gonna do very well in the league
I
if
was
the
happy
one
with
year he
Mike
stays
Trout for
healthy.
14.
Because there's like 1 year left in his career where he's just gonna go nuts again. It's just when is that year? When's that
right.
10 war season coming at like 34? Like 35. When's it coming?
all right. Well, thank you for letting me know how great my picks were. That's really all I wanted from this segment. So let's do some predictions as we do every year. So I basically grabbed pretty much what we had last year in terms of predictions. So I will lead the way as I am probably the no, I'm not probably I'm the least informed on baseball, so mine are probably going to be wild. So who will lead the Mariners in WAR? I'm going to say Julio home runs. I'm going Arozarena runs. I'm going Robles hits Julio. Starting pitching ERA, Logan Gilbert, my guy, and then relief pitcher ERA is Andres Munoz. Kevin, who you got leading these categories for the Seattle Mariners?
Um, runs. God, I would say probably Victor. Well, actually, I don't know.
You could repeat because I mean, obviously, there's four of us guessing. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
really only a couple options.
We'll go wild. Let's see Victor Robles just for runs. RBI is will probably be Cal. Home runs is probably gonna be Cal. And then what was the other ones?
War and
WAR
hits.
and hits.
War, Julio probably. I hope Julio. And then you said hits.
Yep.
Oh. I'll go Luke actually. A
Okay.
little spicy. I'll put Luke in there.
Starting pitcher ERA.
Um, Kirby. No, no. Well, Kirby or Woo. I think
Relief
Woo.
pitcher ERA.
If Woo can stay healthy, Woo is
Well,
good.
what's your answer then, Kevin?
I'd probably say Kirby. Yeah, but oh, relief pitcher. I mean, the obvious answer is Munoz, but I'll say the return of the brash.
All right. And
Turn
then
of
I'm
the
going to
brash.
throw a random one out at you since Ty France is no longer here. Hit by pitches. Who's going to lead in that category?
Hopefully nobody,
Well,
but
someone's gonna lead it by
Someone's
default.
gonna get beat.
By default, someone's gonna
I
lead.
mean, I guess Cal probably, but he just deflects it with his big dumper. Just and it
Like
goes
as
right
cool as
back
Sean Murphy in Oakland.
it just goes right
Yeah,
back. It deflects and goes right back at the pitcher and just hits
yeah.
him, and that's what they deserve. But yeah, let's go Cal.
Sean, who you got leading these categories?
I think War is gonna be Julio. Just that outfield defense. How much value you get from outfield? It's just it's a hard to beat. He's gonna lead in War. I think Cal's gonna lead in home runs. Runs, I think it's gonna be Julio because I think Victor will move around a little bit, playing time, injuries, blah blah blah. I think Julio will just get the most up, like be at the top line the most throughout the season. Hits will probably be Julio as well. So that was boring. Starting pitcher, I'm going to say Woo because I think he is healthy enough and gets the innings. And I'm also going to say Matt Brash because I think he's going to be healthy enough and then get back in here and then sneak in qualifying innings. So I'll say Matt Brash and Brandon Woo.
JT, who you got in these categories?
Oh, Randy Rosarina's hit by pitches because I think he's got the flair and the pizzazz, and some other teams aren't going to like it because there's still some old timey like you don't showboat, and they're going to peg him. So,
Some
oh wait,
bad beef.
who's after Randy Rosarina in the batting order? That's who I pick. So no, that's my
Luke.
legitimate answer. Whoever is after Randy
Probably
wins.
Luke.
That's the
Nobody showboats.
retaliation
Yeah,
guy, essentially.
it'll be that guy. That's gonna be a stat later. They're gonna peg the guy after Randy like does his like he's. I assume the three outfielders because they're all gonna be in the first three in the lineup. I think it's gonna be. It's gonna be Victor, Julio, and Randy, and they have a good chemistry. You know, and they're gonna do some dance after a home run's hit, and it's gonna piss off that team. And the fourth poor guy is gonna get pegged a ton because of those three at the top.
So who do you have it for then? Would it be
I think it's probably
Cal?
gonna be Cal. So it's maybe Cal is probably your fourth guy. I think whoever bats fourth, I'll say the fourth position is gonna be the legal the Mariners hitter in hit by pitches out of sheer rage.
Cal will just let it deflect off the dumper, so he'll
Yeah,
be
and
fine.
Cal gets some days
Yeah.
off. So whoever's fourth in that spot, if it's Luke or somebody else in that spot, it's gonna be whoever gets there just getting pegged.
JT, who you got?
Or, oh man. Okay, so I'm trying to go off the beaten path. That's kind of my thought. I'm last, so I want to do like my dark horses. Um, let's go a pitcher. Let's go Logan Gilbert, Cy Young.
Nice.
Home runs. I think we already mentioned Cal and Julio, so my dark horse is Luke Raley. Runs, I'm gonna say Julio. I think that's just the smart thing to say. It's just he's gonna be the most consistent at the top of the lineup. Hits, I'm gonna go Randy. Starting pitcher ERA is Logan Gilbert because it's win the Cy Young. And then relief pitcher ERA, dark horse Gregory Santos. And then I threw in stolen bases and RBIs, which would be, I think I'd probably still stick with Robles, no matter where he hits, probably gonna be stealing a ton. And I feel like RBI is gonna be Randy. He's just gonna be cleaning up whatever's left. Probably, I would imagine he's probably about in fourth or fifth, I would think, right? I don't know if
Sean
third,
just
but
said
still,
third, so
that's a ton of
yeah,
RBI opportunity, no matter
yeah.
what. So
All right, let's talk some wins, the finish in the AL West in the playoffs. Kevin, I'm going to throw it to you first. What do you got for the Mariners win total? Where they finish in the AL West, and do they make the playoffs?
Um, I'm gonna say yeah, good pitching. I'm gonna say 88 wins, and I think they do make the playoffs.
Where do they finish in the AL West?
Where's that, Kevin?
Actually, I'm gonna say first.
Ooh,
I think
all
the AL
right,
West declined a little bit, but
all right. Sean, what do you got?
Man, I saw the new projections came out after the injuries to the Yankees, and I don't know if you saw JT. I think they have no team in the American League projected for more than like 97 win or 87 wins because there's no like powerhouse team. So, because it's all in the National League. So, I, I could I am not scared of the Rangers. That lineup is just not. They got to do it. They had a hot like young kids had a hot month, and then they rolled into the World Series, and they all fell flat on their faces last year. So I am just not. They have to do it. Like they just have to do it. And they're like, we got a rotation of you know, Degrom and Kumar Rocker and all these things. I'm like, unproven rookie and a guy who can't pitch more than 20 innings in the last 4 years. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like it could all go so wrong for the Rangers again. And the Astros, anytime you lose a Tucker, a top five player in baseball, you're never going to be better no matter what you replace him with. I get that they got Christian Walker, who I'd have loved as a Mariner, but he's not. He's not Kyle Tucker. He's just not Kyle Tucker. So um, they just got worse as well. So I'm going to go with Kevin. I think the Mariners win the division. I think they get it, and I think I'm going to go 90. How many did you say, Kevin?
I said 88.
I'm gonna say 92 wins the division. I think they're gonna beat up on some of these teams because there's just no powerhouse. I think they're just gonna stay healthy. They need to score 4 runs and they'll win a ton of games. And I think this lineup could score not just need to be average. I think they'll be average and without rotation in that bullpen now with Brash and Santos a full season and Munoz, they're gonna be nasty. I think that's enough to get them to 92. Someone's got to win some games, right? Like someone in the American League has to win some games. So I'm gonna say the Mariners win 92.
JT, what do you got?
I foresee a bunch of mediocrity. I feel like it's the first to 85 in the AL West. And I got the
So then, but
Mariner.
then, like, so you're then saying, like, I mean, the wins can go anywhere. What's the worst team in the AL West's record then? Because if the
Oh,
top one is 85, then the bottom one can't be like the Angels are shit. Like,
probably
let's
probably
just say it.
upper 70s. Like I feel like it's
You think the Angels are gonna win like 78 games?
76. Yeah, I mean like mid 70s, upper
I mean,
70s.
that's if Trout stays healthy. If Trout is Trout, I don't know if they win 60. Like, what? How are they winning any games?
I mean, yeah, their lineups always like somewhat decent,
They got like
but
two players that are
their pitching is, I don't know what you're gonna get out of that.
that's
I feel like the
they're the
Athletics could
opposite of the
be
Mariners.
sneaky in like a new field. Like I know it kind of that new field in Sacramento is kind of the most quote unquote most friendliest PCL ballpark but I mean, it's still. I mean, it's gonna cut down on all that foul territory is gonna be gone
Yeah,
from what they compare to, so they could be scoring more.
but they can't
Um,
pitch. Like that's their problem. Oakland has no pitcher, or Oakland. The A's have no pitchers.
Yeah,
right.
they got
They,
the one dude, but he's not like
well, I mean, in general, they don't have
Severino.
anybody.
Sorry,
So I'm just
Severino
like,
is what I was meant to say.
if the Mariners are only going to win 85 and win the division, then man, I just don't know how the lowest team is going to win like 78. The Angels and
So I'm projecting hot take three-way tie to end the year for the AL West, and
between the Texas teams.
they're gonna have to
The rock paper
Rochambeau.
scissors.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I got Mariners at 85, and then I'm gonna say a second place finish in the AL West.
No, but now we're going to hold your feet to the fire. Who wins it out of those Texas teams?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the Astros. I
It's
don't
hard
think I
to.
trust Texas's pitching, even though their lineup is by far the best in the AL West if they're healthy. And that's a big if. I like Jake Berger now and in the barbecue of Arlington.
Is Jake Berger like their third best hitter though? Like or proven hitter? Like legitimately, like between the middle infield?
AL West lore. We all know of Crush Davis, right?
Yeah, yeah.
247, 4 seasons in a
I know
row.
where you're going. Yeah,
Jake Berger is attempting his fourth season of batting 250,
yeah. On
and
the
he's
dot.
now in the AL West this year.
Well, and that field is
Gonna
really,
happen.
really nice to right-handed hitters too.
Yeah. But my question is still with the Rangers is like no one else is proven really. Like I need someone else to do
Well,
something.
they do have. Yeah, well, Simeon's always kind of been
Though I
solid.
said Simeon and Seager are the other two
Well, you
with
got
Berger.
Jock Peterson there too. I mean, he's older, but Jock Peterson he's gonna
Jock
Is
hit
Peterson's a
Garcia still
nice
there?
what?
Adolis Garcia?
Yeah, but he
Mhm.
was awful last year.
Oh.
And Jock Peterson's a part-time player. Like he's not a full-time player anymore.
True, but I mean, he's still probably gonna hit you 20 bombs. It's just,
Yeah, but
especially in that field. Yeah.
he's a halftime. He plays half the time. So
I'm a Wyatt Langford believer. That'd be my third best
that's
hitter
that. But I
vote.
mean, he's got to
He
do it.
hasn't
I need
proven
him to
it,
do it.
but yeah.
Yeah, I need to see it. Everyone of that, every person we talk about is JT on our pod. Like everyone's like this Ranger, this Ranger. I'm like, I need more than 40 at bats. Like I need to see it, and they all fell in their face. I don't know if all are gonna fall in their face, but I need to see somebody do it. Somebody do it. One of the kids do it. So
All right.
Jonah
Well, I'm
Heim, everyone's
going
like Jonah Heim. I'm like no, I don't believe it.
87 wins, second in the AL West to the Texas Rangers, and I just can't do it. They do not make the playoffs. I can't. I don't want to believe. I'd rather have no expectations and be wrong. So I don't think they make the playoffs. In terms of my playoff teams and League Championship Series, World Series prediction, in the AL, I've got the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Orioles, the Royals, the Guardians, and the Rangers. In the NL, I've got the Dodgers, the Padres, the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Reds. In the AL, I got the Yankees over the Orioles, the Dodgers over the Phillies, and in one of the most boring MLB seasons of all time, I've got the Dodgers once again over the Yankees. JT, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm going with, and like what Sean said was, you list off the top teams in MLB, and it's like six or seven of the top 10 are in the National League. So that was re kind of, it's almost tough to cut it off at six um, for the playoffs, but got Dodgers, Braves, Phillies, Mets, Diamondbacks, and Cubs. Kind of like the Cubs as a little dark horse there with the Kyle Tucker addition and some solid pitching out of Shota Imanaga. He's like my favorite Japanese player right now. His personality and his sense of humor is just like it's so cool to see the videos that they post on social media of him. I got Baltimore, Yankees, Boston, Houston, Kansas City, and I realize I'm one short actually. I don't know who I was missing. I think I might have been throwing in some Guardians love. But I got Boston over Houston. I got Philly over the Dodgers because why not? Um, And then I got Boston over Philly in the World Series.
All right. Sean, what do you got?
So we're almost the same, JT, on the National League East. I have Braves winning the division. I have the Cubs winning the division. I have the Dodgers winning the division. I have Mets, Phillies. I have. I keep going back and forth on the last one. I'm gonna go Padres
Yep.
rather than the Diamondbacks, solely because I think the Diamondbacks, but just to be different than JT. So just to have the one difference. So I was like, I'll pick Padres. They're also very good. But I heard on a podcast and was like, I have buddies who are both Padres and Diamondbacks fans. And they're both very good teams and probably win any division in the American League. But they play with the Dodgers, so that sucks. Sucks to be those two teams. That's my National League. I have the Dodgers winning the National League. Sorry, JT, went too chalk on that one. They're already undefeated, so I can't vote against them. They're literally perfect. That's how records work, according to somebody on this podcast. I have the Mariners winning their division. I have, gosh, do I do it? I think JT. Now this is me and JT talking a lot about this. I think this is the year the Twins stay healthy. I think the Twins are winning the Central.
They're not even healthy. They're
I
eventually going to
just,
get it.
like, I'm saying in general, like, obviously they're never going to be perfectly healthy because, like, it's the Twins, but like healthy for the Twins. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Twins are going to do it. They're the most talented team in the Central by far. They all suck except for the Twins, but the Twins are not healthy. So, um, I'm going to go Yankees still win the division. I say Baltimore, Boston when they get there, and then the last one, man. Say Houston goes again. I just can't. Houston just can't not make the playoffs. I say the teams that go. I like the Red Sox to go to the World Series in the American League over the Yankees, and I like it's just chalk. It's just the Braves and the Dodgers, and I had the Dodgers beating the Red Sox in the World Series.
Kevin, what do you got?
We're getting spicy here. So the
White Sox.
National League, yeah,
All Chicago World Series. Got it. All right.
the National League, it's obviously the Rockies winning the West. Not kidding. No, Dodgers, of course. Central, probably the Cubs, but I could see the Brewers doing something. Brewers are weird this year. I don't know. I have a weird
They're
feeling.
the favorite, Kevin. So I don't know if why you're saying they're weird. They're the favorite.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like it's kind of going back and forth between the two. I'll be fancy. I'll say the Brewers. Um, Atlanta winning the East, and then wild cards would be Mets, Cubs, and probably I'm gonna say Diamondbacks. Um,
JT, your World Series prediction, Kevin didn't have it in the playoffs. How does that feel?
Feels like I need to put some money on it.
AL West, I'm gonna go Mariners. Central, I'm gonna say the Royals. I don't know. I like them this year. They added a lot of good pieces. And then the East, probably even though they're hurt, the Yankees are just like probably just the Yankees again.
They have
Sadly,
Aaron Judge. Like, really?
yeah.
Like, honestly, he's going to mash so much. He had a 200 WRC plus last year. It's literally two players. Like, he's two dudes.
Trying to make a wild card. I'm gonna get spicy here. I'm gonna say Baltimore. I'm gonna say Toronto. Not the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox. I'm still questionable on a lot of that pitching. Other than, I mean, yeah, they had
It's it's fair. The way I heard someone describe it is the Red Sox have three Colt Emersons, basically three young kids that are coming up or like are up. And I think me and JT are just banging.
Everybody thinks that like Tristan Costas is just gonna go bananas, and I'm like,
they have a couple guys that he's one of the three, but they have three Colt Emersons basically, and they're like one or two are gonna hit, and they could not. You're right, Kevin. They could not hit.
I just think there's more solid pieces, in my opinion, on Toronto. So I'm gonna say Toronto. What else? I don't think anybody else comes out of it. I'm gonna say Guardians being the third. Oh yeah, because I said Baltimore. Yeah, so Baltimore, Toronto, and Guardians being And then what else we're doing? The
League
The
Championship
winners.
Series, World Series.
oh,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say NL is going to be Braves and Dodgers. I'm gonna say Braves over Dodgers. AL, I'm gonna say hmm, it's tough.
I vote to move the Braves to the American League just so I could see Dodgers Braves play for a World Series. That would be
Right?
like that'd be like peak for me. It was like those Seahawks 49ers games, and they were like, that was the Super Bowl. Like, why do we got to play the Super Bowl? Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna say Baltimore and Yankees. I'll say Baltimore over the Yankees. Just to get spicy. Why not? And then Atlanta. That's it.
All right. Well, let us know what your predictions are. Go ahead and post at us. I am at MassB24 on Blue Sky. Sean is at NastyBilly22 on Blue Sky. Kevin is at Emerald Bowler on Blue Sky, and JT is JT underscore the Ginger on X. Let us know what you think of the Mariners season as well as the World Series prediction you have. Any hot takes, guys? I'm going to throw mine out there right now. Ellie De La Cruz is the NL MVP. He stops Shohei Ohtani's run of MVPs, and he takes the MVP this year, and that's why he leads the Reds to the playoffs in my predictions. Anyone else got anything hot?
I think the Royals are worse in every single way than last year. I don't think that's even a hot take. But hot take. The White Sox don't lose. The White Sox win 50 games. Is that a hot take?
I mean, I would say kind of, yeah. I mean,
No, it's really hard to lose more than to not win 50 games. It's really hard. I mean,
and they
could they?
did.
Yeah. Here's a stat. I posed this to JT. I heard this on the podcast. What is more likely? What is it, JT? The Dodgers win 90 games or
Yeah.
117?
Like, will
90 or
they
less games or 117?
more likely to actually just
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
horribly
90 or
or
less
break
or
history?
117?
90 or less.
That's the
That's my
online
bet.
stuff is yeah, I mean, probably the safer one, but I would bet a lot of money that neither of those happen.
Well,
Like
yeah,
that's obviously going to be in the
absolutely. But
middle somewhere.
I thought you were asking me to pick,
But
asking us to pick one.
man, I
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You need a little luck to win that many games, but 117 is not crazy for the Dodgers. They got four MVPs on the team. It's not too shabby.
I mean, yeah, but it's never been done.
And they have four MVPs on the team. It's never been done. I'm just saying. Like, like they got four MVPs. Then they got the two most sought after starting pitchers in back-to-back off seasons to join their team. Uh, I'm just saying they're number 7 6 hitters, a 30 home run third baseman that no one talks about. Like I'm just saying like they're literally undefeated right now. It's impossible. It's already set in stone. It's perfect. They're gonna go 162-0. I'm just saying. I don't know. You got a hot take, JT?
Logan Gilbert, Cy Young.
That's not even hot. I don't even know if that classifies as hot, honestly.
I don't know. I think
Uh,
it might be kind of hot.
Luis
What is he right
Castillo
now? He's
traded
top
to
10.
Baltimore for a plethora of
There you
batters.
go. There you go. That's
Ooh.
one. I was gonna say Logan Gilbert's got to be top 10 in Cy Young voting in preseason Cy Young votings right now.
Kevin, any hot takes?
His hot take would be if Emerson Hancock wins the Cy
Ooh.
Young.
I don't even know if it's a hot take, but I'm gonna say I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I think they'll be more competitive than what people think. I think the Nationals are gonna be more competitive than what a lot of people think.
I can see that. What does
Okay.
competitive mean? Like above 500?
I think they'll be competing for a spot, but I don't think because of with the Phillies and Mets, I don't think they get
So
there.
competing is probably about 500, right? Like you got to be around
Yeah,
500 to be
I
competing.
would say
Okay.
I would say maybe a little bit above 500.
Okay.
Like I think they'll probably be like 10 like when the wild card hits, I think they'll be like 10 to 15 games back from the wild card.
I think that counts as a hot take because I think on paper you're probably right, Kevin. but you did say that they have three monsters in that division, so that would bump them down. So if you say that they win that many games, that's a hot take. So that qualifies.
I
That's a good
mean,
hot take.
we've seen the AL
Yeah, no,
West be a
I
good
agree.
league.
That's a good
Yeah,
hot take. It's a good hot take. They're supposed to be hot, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, Logan Gilbert's like it's a fourth best favorite
Yeah,
for the Cy
yeah.
this
I was
year.
gonna say. How about this, JT? I'll do one. Man, I don't know if I want to go that hot. What do I want to do?
Do it.
Two of the top five Cy Young are Mariners this year. There you go.
Who? Are you on Woo or Kirby?
I'm going Logan Gilbert and Brandon Wu because I think he stays healthy. There you
Interesting.
go.
Interesting.
I shouldn't have said it. I should have just said two because it's going to be like Kirby and Miller are going to be the two, and I'll be like, damn it, I was so hot, but I was way too specific.
Three in the how many? Two in the top five.
Two in
Is
the top five.
three in the top 10? Is that not that's probably
I
not
was going to
as
say it was either
spicy.
that or three in the top 10. So
Because well, three are in the top 10 already. I
is
mean,
it
Kirby has
Castillo?
no, it's Bryce Miller.
Oh, really? Bryce Miller got top Cy Young.
Yeah.
I know that the Mariners fans love him. I just didn't know that the larger media loved him that much.
Yeah, but Kirby hasn't been updated yet because he's still
Yeah,
gone
because
for 191 innings. So
yeah, he'll bump down. But obviously, with just missing if he misses only two starts like he's projected, this shouldn't be a problem. Honestly, it shouldn't affect him too much.
Well, we
What's
got a
yours,
little
Matt?
bit. I said Ellie De La Cruz. Are we talking Mariners
Yeah, do you have
hot
any? Do you
takes?
have any? Do you have any
My
others?
um, I don't know. Well, here's a potential. I think Jorge Polanco bounces back in a big way this year. That's what I think. Is that a hot take?
Well, it depends on what you mean by big, because objectively he'll get better. It's just like how much better do you think is bounce back in a big way?
I don't know what the measurement is, but I think he will be.
I guess the easiest way is WRC plus is the easiest way. It's not the perfect way, but it's the easiest way. 100 is
Well,
average. He
well,
was 82 last year.
I think he's what's like the top guy. I don't know WRC plus.
how about
Aaron Judge had
this?
200, so that's not Aaron
Does
Judge.
in your mind, does Jorge Polanco have a career year, meaning over 30 home runs, over 10 stolen bases, nearly 100 runs and RBI with
No,
like a 850 OPS? Does he have a career 2021 matching year?
I don't think he quite reaches that level, but I think he hits it in two of those four
like
categories you mentioned.
25 home runs, like
Yeah,
something like that. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
that's okay. That's a big year. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, then the Mariners do win 92 games. You're welcome for that. If you get your third baseman Jorge Polanco hits 25 bombs for you and puts up 100 RBIs, write the checks now.
I mean, I would love to see it. The Mariners open their season 4 games against. I'm calling them the Sacramento Athletics. I'm just going to call them Sacramento Athletics
They're
for the
Oakland.
time being.
Oh gosh, now I can't remember his name. Screw his name. They literally, me and JT talked about this. They literally wrote a book and then made a movie about how cheap he is. Like I don't and Brad Pitt was freaking in it. Like it wasn't a small movie. And Chris Pratt. Like it was a big deal. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Actually, there's a ton of actors in that movie. Yeah, like he's so cheap. Like, no, you're Oakland, damn it. Shut up. Like, sell the team. I stand with Oakland A's. Sell the team.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Gilbert versus Severino on Thursday. Then Detroit comes to town for 3 games. Then they're at San Francisco for a short 3 game road trip before coming home to play Houston and Texas for 3 games set. So a lot of Mariners baseball coming to Seattle here soon. So I'm sure all of us will be checking it out. We didn't even talk about the big news about Root Sports, but we're running out of time here.
I think it's a good thing.
I
There
think
you
it is a
go.
good thing too. I think we've been asking for it for like the
Yeah.
last three
Yeah.
years.
Do it.
So
And they did
about
it. So there you
about
go.
time for them to finally offer that to people who don't have DirecTV or whatever. So
Yeah.
kudos to Root Sports, and this will get a lot more eyes on Mariners baseball. But let us know what your predictions are. But with that, we will see you next time on Washington East to West Sports. JT, thank you for joining us. Great Tacoma Rainiers hat. I don't have to ask this time what your hat is. So go Rainiers, go Mariners. We'll see you next time. Washington East to West Sports. Bring back our Sonics.